All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reston Letters third ever podcast. I just wanted to kind of focus us tonight. The purpose of our podcast, we got this idea about a month ago, I guess. But the purpose or mission of our podcast is twofold. So first, we want to use this little snippet to pique the interest of listeners, anyone who happens upon it on social media or the website or wherever it is, to get them to go pick up a copy of the newspaper and learn more about us as a staff and of course more about the Reston community. And the other purpose is to be able to dive a little deeper into a couple articles from this month's issue, because those 500 word, 700 word, even 1,000 word articles are not a lot. So we want to get a little more information, and get a little, kind of be able to talk and listen to each other. So for our February issue, I have tonight with me Cate from Principal of Points North Cate, who is the principal of Points North Strategies LLC, right? And then I have Alex Campbell, who is the executive director of the Reston Museum. So nice to have you both. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Definitely.
All right, so I'm going to start with Cate. Cate is going to talk about a recent event, big event. I saw some pictures that she helped put on. So Cate, you want to go ahead and explain Ethics Day?
Absolutely. It's a program that has been going on that the Chamber has held with South Lakes High School for 31 years. This is our 31st anniversary.
Wow.
And it's a cool program that was put together to bring the business community and the school together in a unique way. It's a special program that's just done for the seniors of South Lakes. It's always been in person up until COVID, and then we had to take a break and do some stuff online. But this year, we got to go back in person, and it brings together the business community with all of the seniors. They are presented with a variety of different ethical scenarios. Usually kind of in a role play scenario. We have a courtroom scene that's acted out before the students, and they have to play judge and jury, as to how would they rule on something. They also have an organ donation room, which is kind of cool, where they have to decide who gets an organ. And even though we have rules for that, yeah, it is awesome, and they loved it. I mean, they really love it. And we also talk about digital citizenship, in this day and age, and we're really fortunate for the Chamber to partner with the Hyatt Hotel. They gave us the space to use. Students came over. Wegmans was wonderful this year in providing lunches for the students. And it's an entire day of just talking about doing the right thing and the ethical challenges that they have.
That is so cool. So how long have you been involved?
25 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you said seniors. Is it all seniors, or is it seniors from different classes, or?
Yeah, all just the senior class from South Lakes High School. So about 400 to 500 students a year participate in this event.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Huh. And then you said acted out. So who are these people acting out these scenarios?
Business leaders, people in the community who participate, who are members of the chamber. They come and they'll take on a role. I mean, we had in the heart transplant room this year, we had about 5 different actors who each played someone who desperately needed the heart.
Oh my gosh.
Keep their family going. And these folks are really good. I mean, over the years, they've perfected their role, and they're just pleading with the students, I'm the one that needs to be selected for XYZ reason. And the students are like, how do we do this? How do we make this decision? Everybody deserves it for a variety of different reasons. So They're business leaders in the community, and we're just
Uh,
so honored that they give them their time to do it.
wow, that might make me cry.
I'm going to tell a story
Okay, yes.
that I know that it's pretty incredible. When we did this years ago, we initially did it. We were very fortunate to have Reston Hospital be one of the sponsors, and we had a young guy who was, senior, and he went through the organ donation room. And it's usually done around Thanksgiving. And this next year in 2025, they're going to bring it back in the November timeframe,
Hmm.
which is great. So he came, went through the day, was so impressed with what he saw and heard during the day, especially with the organ donation room, that he sat down with his mom and dad at Thanksgiving and said, "Hey, I want to be an organ donor. I want to change my driver's license to become an organ donor."
Oh, wow.
And that summer, he died.
Oh my gosh.
But he made, I'm going to get,
Oh,
it's so
Yeah.
impactful. He made an impact to people across the nation. And his mother, who was a nurse at Reston Hospital, came to be one of our facilitators and tells that story.
oh
And
my goodness.
it's interesting how that made such an impact. And that's really what the intention of the day is to make
Yeah.
a positive impact and
Mhm.
get the students, these young adults, these people going out
Mhm.
into the workforce, going off to college, whatever the case might be, think at
Yeah.
a different level. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So is this, or I'm sure you know, is this like a standalone event, or do the seniors work up to it, have any kind of unpacking they do of it on the other side, or?
The answer is yes. The high school does a great job of talking about ethics in a variety of different forms with the
Mhm.
students.
Okay.
And then afterward, they kind of talk about what did you think about the program and what was impactful to you. So
Hmm.
it is neat. And again, we're so glad it's back in person. It's different when you're delivering it,
Sure.
virtually as opposed to live, where they actually get to talk to each other about what they're seeing.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that is very cool. So can you tell anyone listening who might be, in a business how they could get involved with you?
Absolutely. They contact the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. That is
Okay.
the key. That they're the host of the program for
Mhm.
South Lakes. They encourage a lot of involvement. They have obviously the actors, but they're also table leaders that they need to
Mm,
help sit with students to facilitate discussion amongst them. So they had about anywhere between 40 to 80 table leaders a year
mhm,
that stay with a group of 8 to 10 students as they go through each of the different scenarios. This year we had 3 different rooms students
mm,
rotated through,
mhm,
and facilitators make a difference in making sure everybody gets their perspective and opinion on the table. So
mhm.
please contact the chamber if you're
Yeah.
interested in being a table leader or sponsoring as well. I mean, this
Yeah.
event it does cost money to put the event
Mhm,
on, and
mhm,
we're blessed to have some fantastic sponsors, but it's impactful and it makes the
mhm.
difference. So
Yeah.
contact the
So,
chamber.
yes, I love the chamber. So, one question, one more question. I'm a high school teacher. Do you find that these high schoolers in general take this pretty seriously? Like, have you had, and I don't know what your role the actual day of Ethics Day is, but I'm just curious, like, do they seem to kind of get the gravity, I guess, importance of what they're dealing with, what they're being
No,
exposed to?
yeah, no, they do. And I've played a variety of different roles. And I've been a table leader, I've been an actor, a room facilitator, and then
Mhm.
ultimately have been the over the several years, the co-chair of the event. And it's interesting to watch them when they first come in at the beginning of the day. And then as the day goes on, even the first hour goes on, they get really involved in it because it's not
Mhm.
the usual.
Mhm.
And it was fascinating to look at the evaluations because we have the students evaluate the program
Oh,
every day. What did
cool.
you like? What did you not like? What
Mhm.
was important to you? And what's very interesting, especially coming out of COVID, is they like the fact that they got to engage with each other and
Yeah.
talk with each other about stuff that's at a much higher level,
Mhm.
and you know and discuss things of how would they approach it, and learn from each other
Mhm.
experiences. Some of the things that the students see or have seen over the years, some of students have gone through a lot. These students are smart, they,
Mhm.
especially in this digital age,
Mhm.
they read, they see what's going on, and they've got opinions and perspectives, and they love to engage. So
Mhm.
they are interested, and it was wonderful to see the comments. They were like, wow, we want
Mm.
to do more of this. We can't
Yeah.
wait to do this again. I wish that, some of my other friends had taken the time, to come
Mhm.
out today, and things like that. Because I don't think over the past couple of years, 3 years, we've had to do it digitally.
Mhm.
And, but to have them in person makes such a big difference and impact, especially with the business leaders participating either as actors,
Mhm.
facilitators, or table leaders facilitating discussion. So,
Mhm. Well, that's a lot more, I would say, real world, right? To have to deal with other people's opinions as well as yours, and not just yours, but have to factor in everyone's. Yeah. Well, that's
I
so
was
so
yeah.
go
Yeah, I was wondering, do the are the same students, or are there different students in different groups that are talking about the same subject? Like, I'm just wondering if like one group of students come to a different decision than another group, like how that all plays out, and do they go back afterwards and be like, "Oh, I didn't even think of that."
Alex, you like perfectly queued up that
Oh,
question too. That's awesome.
yes.
And what we do is when all of the students arrive, we split them up into different rooms to start the day, and they rotate throughout the day.
Okay.
Once they get in the room, we split them up one more time because we don't want friends sitting with friends. We don't want the group think going on. We want them to think outside of the box, maybe get to know somebody that they didn't know in the senior class. I mean, 400 to 500 students is, it's a lot of people. You might see people, but you never interacted with them before. And
Mhm.
they really like the diversity of thought. So that group, once they're set for the day, that group of 8 to 10 stay with each other for the day. And
Mhm.
there are usually about 15 tables of 8 to 10 per room.
Mhm.
And the facilitators of the room are focused on getting the perspective. Okay, who convicted X, Y, and Z? And why did you do a conviction, or why did you give the heart to that person as opposed to that one? So,
Mhm.
and the tables have to come to consensus,
Oh, wow.
as to why they made their decision through that rich discussion. So we purposefully, get them to talk with somebody else and engage on a different level.
That is such a
That's
cool idea. Yeah. Um, all right. Well, anything else you wanted to add? I mean, you can obviously jump in once I start talking to Alex as well, but
I
if
can't wait to hear about the museum. I love the museum. I remember
I
when
know.
it opened,
Mhm.
and it's a pleasure to meet you virtually, Alex. I can't wait
Yeah,
to get back there.
sounds good. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have Alex on here today because, well, also again, I'm obsessed with the museum. But I wanted to, we do have an article about their bricks on the lake, bricks by the lake, right? Bricks by the
Yes.
lake. Okay, so they had an event a couple weekends ago called Bricks by the Lake, so there'll be an article on that. So I wanted to kind of, you give us kind of the history of that and what that was all about, and then tell us more about the museum too, because I am so impressed with what you've done over there. And so, yes, talk
Yeah,
to us.
awesome, great. Yeah, so Bricks by the Lake is a fairly new event for us. We started it in 2021, and it really came out of the pandemic. It was the Cardboard Boat Regatta Committee. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Cardboard Boat Regatta.
Yes.
And so that committee had gotten together, and we knew we couldn't do the event in 2021. And we said, well, we still want to do something fun, have people come together, and what is something that we can do. And so that's where Bricks by the Lake was born,
Mhm.
because we knew we could do it social distance and things like that. So And this event is a really family friendly event. It's Lego themed, not sponsored by Lego in any way, but it consists of a brick building competition. So we have teams competing over a period of time, creating different builds, of course, with some Reston themes. So it's live, work, play are the different themes there. And then we've been incredibly fortunate to partner with Charm City Lug, which is Lug stands for Lego User Group. And so they've been wonderful. So every single year they've brought anywhere probably between 2 or 3 dozen really fantastic builds that are already made. Right now at the museum, we've been very lucky to keep one of them for the month of February. So if you weren't able to come for the event, stop by in February. It is an over 11 foot tall space rocket made entirely of Legos.
That
It's
was That was amazing. It was all so I was like, "Oh, I'll stop by. I want to see what it's like." And I could not believe not only the rocket, that was gigantic, but all of the other I love like the gingerbread house and all
That
of
was
that.
the fan favorite this
It was
year.
I voted
Yes.
for that one. I voted for the gingerbread house. But yeah, it was awesome. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
the all of the Lego builders are fantastic.
Mhm.
They just so the Charm City Lug people, they just it's such an inspiration too, I think, for those who are coming in to just view the event or for those participating in the competition. So that's been really fantastic. And
Mhm.
then we've been really fortunate too to partner with some more of the businesses at Lake Anne. So because the first year we started it, we did it on the plaza, and now we've kind of kept it inside, particularly since
Mhm.
we've moved kind of spaces around, or not spaces, but when we've had the event, we did it in August and that was too hot. And then we
Mhm.
did it in October and it rained, and we were like, oh, this event actually works well in the rain. We can be inside, it doesn't have to be outside. And so we moved it to January this year, and that worked really well. So I think we're going to do that moving forward. But a lot of the merchants on the plaza have supported this event. So that's been really wonderful as well.
Mhm. And you had I was talking to one of the guys, I think I think his build was maybe the one that looked like a painting of a dog, I think.
Yeah.
I think that
Sort
was him, or he was standing by that anyway. But he was saying that the person in charge or the person who's kind of helped kick it off lives in Reston, right? And I keep seeing on social media like the Van Gogh Bridge,
yes.
right? Okay, he did the Lego Van Gogh Bridge. And so what did he have to do?
Yeah, so it's Nathan Hagen, and so yeah, he lives in Reston, and so he's been a part of the committee from the beginning. He's our contact with the Charm City Log, and so each year he's designed a limited edition brick kit that is Reston themed. So our first year it was Rosan's Fountain, the second year it was Rosan's Lookout Tower, and then this year it's the Van Gogh Bridge. So he designs the whole kit, puts it all together, and creates directions so people can purchase it at the museum. We still have quite a few kits left, so that's still available. And, you know, people can take home and build their own little piece of Reston out of
So
Legos. So
Oh,
cool.
I'll
it's
be
really
stopping by soon to get one of those. That's
yeah,
very
please
cool.
do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's so much fun. And like I didn't grow up playing Legos, but like I've put them together and it's been an inspiration for me too. So that's been fun, and that's been a way for businesses to engage with the event as well because we have a sponsorship opportunity. So it's just a really fun one to
Mhm.
sponsor.
Yeah. I played I I mean, I grew up playing with Legos, and one of the things I wish I had gotten the gentleman's name who I was talking to, but he was saying he kind of made me think about, like our generation grew up with Legos in their, when they were bigger. I feel like they've gotten tinier every year. But anyway, so we grew up with them, right? And so we just want to keep getting more and more and more and more kits and harder and harder. And then he was talking about how Lego is trying, and again, Lego is not sponsoring this podcast, guys. Um, but but he said that Lego is doing a lot more kind of group things. Like they'll get kits that go with each other, or like a big kit, I guess, that has different builds. So the idea is you open it up and like different people do to build different parts, like with your family, and then put it together, which I thought was pretty cool. You know, another way to kind of engage beyond just the, I
Oh, that'd be
suppose it's,
perfect for team building too.
yeah,
For
Absolutely.
I think
organizations.
so.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he was super interesting to talk to. Um, so anyway, Bricks by the Lake, awesome. I love that. Oh, and also I was gonna ask you, so there were people who sat at tables. It looked like mostly families. And then they had like 45 minutes to build, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and then so did you get to like pick a winner, or how did that work? Because I didn't.
Yeah, so we have judges. We have three judges that judge each build. So the categories are the team categories, I guess, the competition categories are based on age. So
Mhm.
everybody's broken up into a different age group, and then each age group has a specific theme that they're building towards.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think like the youngest group is their theme is play and then work and
Mm.
live, and then we have
Um,
the last category is memories.
mhm.
The judges go around, so everybody's judged in their age group. And then we've also been very lucky the past 2 years. We've partnered with Nova Labs, and they've created the trophies for us. So
Oh,
that's been
cool.
really wonderful as well. They get their students, some of the students they work with, to create the different awards based on the different themes. And so
Mhm.
the winner of each category gets one of those trophies and a certificate as well. So.
Man, I would, what would be cool with the chamber is you should do a Bricks by the Lake corporate event and get the
Oh,
Ooh.
chamber to partner with you. And that would be a whole different level and
yeah,
kind of bringing
yeah,
it in.
woohoo,
But
yeah, yeah. Up it up notch there. Yeah, absolutely.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's so creative. I love all the things that the museum is doing like that. It seems like you're very clever. Very clever over there.
yes, yes.
Yeah, it's been really nice because, it's the competition is just one part, and that's the only part that has a cost to it.
Mm-hmm.
And those who do compete get to keep the bricks that they use to build. So,
Mm-hmm.
but everything else, viewing the master builds and doing the free play and the crafts and stuff, it's all free. So we had over 200 people inside the museum on one day,
Wow.
in the middle of January. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really nice for us to be able to do that and bring people in.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, do you have anything you'd like to say about the museum a little bit? Like a plug for you guys? I mean, I think
Yeah.
you're always doing great things. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I hope if you haven't been to the museum and you're listening, please come visit us. We are free to visit. And our mission is to share and preserve Reston's unique history. We are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit, so we stand alone, and the majority of our programs and events are offered for free. So we do something about once a month. So check out our event calendar, see what we're up to, and stop on by.
awesome. I will tell the story real quick because were you at the museum when I went there digging through your archives?
Yes, yes, I was there.
Yeah, I was when I was starting the Reston Letter, thinking about starting the newspaper. I didn't know what to name it, and so I went over to the museum to see, what kind of publications they'd had in the past and if I could get any inspiration over there. And found that in the 60s, when Reston was being built, they had a publication called the Reston Letter that was published for 3 years, I think. And it was really just, a newsletter of now we built another lake. That was kind of what it was. But yeah, that was not the first time I went to the museum, but it was up there and that was very exciting. The collections you have over there are really cool.
Yeah, certainly the Reston letter in our archives is one of my favorite pieces, I think. I just like going back
They're so cool.
yeah, seeing things happen for the first time in Reston. I think,
Mhm,
and it's one of our earliest publications that we have. It's 1963 is the earliest one, and
mhm,
so certainly if we do have an archives, you can search them online, and if you want to see them in person, just set up a research request, and
mhm.
we'd love to have you over for that too.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you both so very much for joining me on the third ever Rest and Letter podcast. And I hope to talk to both of you very soon. So have a great
Absolutely.
night.
Great, you
Honored to be here.
too.
Thank you.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you so much.